Hello there, and welcome back to some DLC speculation. I've been really enjoying making these, they've been a lot of fun, so I'm gonna keep making them. Today I'm gonna go over a Cenozoic pack, what I think Cenozoics could look like if they were added to the game. Firstly, there's not enough species. I'm only gonna choose 6. I will have a list of honourable mentions at the end who I think could be swapped out for almost any option. But either way, it's hard to pick because there's just so many iconic animals from this era that definitely deserve a spot. However, I'm going to limit myself to 6 of what I would like to see the most. We're going to start off with the woolly mammoth. It's literally not only one of the most iconic Cenozoic species, but it's one of the most iconic species of extinct animals just of all time. It's too iconic, and for a pack like this, it has to be included. You cannot have something like this without a woolly mammoth. Smilodon is probably the only guarantee for a pack like this. Obviously, there are some obvious ones. Woolly mammoth is obviously going to be included. But if we do get a pack like this, Smilodon is obviously going to be included, and that is because it is technically canon. It does appear in what I believe is Season 5 of Camp Cretaceous, or Season 4, either way it makes an official appearance and it is canon. But it's also just incredibly iconic, and it's an animal that they would just have to include. There's no way you could not include Smilodon. Titanoboa. Yes, Titanoboa is a Cenozoic, technically species, so I'm going to include it here. It really should have been included in the first one I made of these when I made my semi-aquatic DLC. I probably should have included it there, but I didn't. But it's here now. It definitely would be able to swim. It would be able to use the deep water and swim. And again, I think it's incredibly iconic. And it's a species that we really should have in the game by now. And it would be really disappointing that if we don't get it by the end of Jurassic World Evolution 3's lifespan. Elasmotherium, I went with Elasmotherium over the woolly rhino, because I think Elasmotherium, not only is it bigger, but I think it's just a little bit more unique than the woolly rhino, simply because of its name, and it can bring a bit more representation, and it was absolutely huge as well. And to be honest, it really would not matter if it was the woolly rhino or Elasmotherium, but to see some sort of ancient woolly rhinoceros would be amazing, and should be included in a pack like this. Paraceratherium is probably one of my just all-time favorite extinct animals, and just animals in general. This just massive ancient rhinoceros relative was huge. It was absolutely massive. It was bigger than dinosaurs. It was bigger than the T-Rex, I believe. It would have topped some smaller sauropods. It's incredible. I love it so incredibly much, and I think I would love to see it. I would really, really love to see it in a pack like this. Megatherium is just another incredibly iconic extinct species. Just this massive ground sloth that went extinct all these years ago, and I just think it's an absolutely fantastic species, and it definitely should be included in a pack like this. However, it's probably the one that would get swapped out with any of the other species that I'm going to mention in just a second here, but please, I would love to see this one. Now, there is way too many iconic Cenozoic species to include. There's way too many to include in a small pack like this. So I'm going to talk about 6 more that I really think could be swapped out for pretty much any species. Arctotherium, which was this massive ancient bear, would be really cool to see. Dryptodon, an ancient wombat relative that lived in Australia. Megaloceros, which is just the largest deer to have ever lived. Megalania, which was a massive extinct reptile and lizard, which I think would also be really cool and unique. Any species of terror bird should be included. I don't care which, just any species of terror bird would be awesome to see. And Glyptodon as well, which is basically just a mammalian ankylosaur. Thank you so much for watching this little video about Cenozoic species that I would love to see come to Jurassic World Evolution 3. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.